Here we are, we're in Benelux, which is a restaurant that we're renovating in Bushwick, Brooklyn. This is John, I'm Christina, and we're in the bathroom. Okay, so essentially what we're doing, we've done all of the prep work to get this bathroom renovated. We've pulled down the wallpaper, it was really ugly. We've primed the walls, we've painted the ceiling. Things are happening. I know it looks bad, but sometimes it has to get worse before it gets better because there's room for improvement. So what we're gonna do now, John's gonna start by painting the wainscoting, which is this beadboard area down below. John's gonna paint that. It's like an awesome navy blue. It's called Gentleman's Gray. I don't know why, but it's called Gentleman's Gray. And he's gonna paint the wainscoting, and then I'm gonna cut the wallpaper, get the wallpaper up. We're basically gonna be working on top of each other, which is absolutely against the rules, but we're gonna do it anyway because we need to get this done.
The good news about this paint is that it's got primer already in it, so you can go right over this horrible, shitty brown without having to prime it first and just go straight blue.
Right, so we're gonna get one coat of that done and done. And then the wallpaper, I'm gonna walk you through it step by step. And then you too will know how to wallpaper if you want to too. So the first thing you need to do, step one, is you need to prep your bathroom before you get started. So what you need to do, you need to sand down the walls, any bumps, any blemishes. If you have any dents, you need to fill them, you need to spackle any holes. There's something about wallpaper that's a lot less forgiving than paint, and any discrepancies on the walls will show through even more apparently with wallpaper than it would if you just were painting. So you really need a flat, smooth surface. Then you prime it. The deal with primer essentially is you put this glue on the back of the wallpaper, and if you don't have primer on the walls, then you have a porous surface and the glue is just gonna get sucked right into it. So what you wanna do is you prime the walls, and that way they're prepared and it becomes a non-porous surface, so the glue hangs onto the paper, hangs onto the wall, and doesn't get sucked right in. So that's what you need to do. First prep, then prime, then paper. That's the PPPs. I just made that up. So then what we do is we measure. So our first panel is 28 inches wide and 56 inches long. As they say, measure twice, cut once, or that's what my mom says anyway. And then you always want to give yourself kind of an excess, because what you want to be able to do is put the wallpaper up and then trim any of the excess rather than discovering that you're in fact short and totally buggered. So I've given myself 57 inches. I've got my straight edge here to make sure I've got the correct length. I'm gonna move my ruler. I'm gonna keep that pinned there. And then you're just gonna slice your paper. Oh well, slip that. There we go. One of the things you need to take into consideration is the drop and repeat of the wallpaper. So with this, it's pretty erratic and probably pretty forgiving. If it had like a more specific print, like that toucan print we're gonna hang in the other bathroom, you're really gonna see if a toucan's lining up with a monkey or a toucan's lining up with its tail. So depending on the wallpaper, you have to be really aware of the actual pattern and how they all line up. This, because it's so abstract, should be much more forgiving. Okay, so I've got it lined up, and now I'm gonna keep cutting the rest of my pieces. I have to keep doing these 57-inch lengths, and then I'm gonna cut out a bunch of them and get them hung up. Clay, which is adhesive, onto the back of the paper. There are different schools of thought in terms of how you get wallpaper glue on. I'm a big fan of the roller method. I think it's like a good way to get it really evenly distributed. So I basically get like a mini roller, put the glue in a tray, and roll it on. So then you carry it like a pizza dough. You're gonna want one of these suckers. This is a brush. You're gonna want one of these suckers. This is a paddle. And you're gonna want one of these. This is a roller. It's a seam roller. So what you do first, you're gonna work from your outside in, and you're basically spreading the wallpaper so you're getting all the bubbles out. You see how as I'm pushing it, it's kind of like expanding across. Expanding across. Then you're gonna take your handy dandy paddle, ram it into the corner. And then when we have the next piece up, then we take our little roller and we'll go like beep, 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 which is basically like a pizza knife. And it just like presses this joint down so that it stays nice and clean. You always want to use a really sharp X-Acto knife. Do not mess around with a dull X-Acto knife. You will regret it. So pull that off. Get in there.
You could throw them away after maybe 2 or 3
Yeah,
pieces.
2 or 3 cuts or something. You really do not want to waste your time with a dull knife. Piece number 1, she's up. Piece number 2, she's going up. What you're gonna do, you wanna get it in there, line it up in the corner so it overlaps the other piece you put in the corner. Spread it down. Spread it up. So you take your brush, push your wallpaper out again, getting all the air bubbles out. Boop, boop, boop. Here's your excess. Zing, 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 zing. Okay, so here's the hard part. This is the tricky bit. So when I put this in this corner, I put this first piece so that it went around the corner. I put this piece over that. I take my knife and I'm gonna run it down the corner. Get in there, get in there, get in there. Basically, you grab the overlapping piece and you're removing that now. You take that underlying piece out and you push your corner back in. And what you end up with is this totally perfect corner. Okay, so far we've got these 2 panels up. John's got the wainscoting painted. I'm gonna keep wallpapering. We're gonna blast through this bathroom. Okay, thank you again for watching this episode of DIY. This room definitely had room for improvement, and we are well on our way to transformation.